Welcome, friends. I'm Jim Hughes bringing you this edition of Oxford News This Week. In our headlines, $125,000 for a brand new playground structure. The Oakland County Sheriff is actually warning on recent telephone scams that are happening, and a brand new salon more than 16 years in the making. Sit back, stay tuned, because you're watching Oxford News This Week. Welcome back to Oxford News This Week. Jim Hughes with you, and up to $23,000 in interest-free loans are being offered to Oakland County residents for making needed home repairs, which could include roofing, insulation, heating, electrical reimbursements, or other improvements. The loan is completely interest-free, has no monthly payments, and the total is only due and payable when the resident no longer lives in their home. To qualify, residents must own and live in the homes in the county, meet gross household income limits set by the federal government. Oxford residents have opted to participate in the program in the past, and Village Manager Joe Medora says homeowners should not be scared of the program just because it is a loan, encouraging them to reach out and talk to the county about how it works. To find out more about the home improvement program and the application process, feel free to log on to that Oakland County government website. That is oakgov.com. If you're interested in talking with the village about this program, you can always call the village office at 248-628-2543. A brand new playground is in the slated schedule at Seymour Lake Park, thanks to a $125,000 grant. Game Time, a commercial playground company, has been partnered with M Parks, Michigan Recreation Park Association, in the statewide funding initiative. The 30-year-old structure at the back of Seymour Lake Park was demolished to make room for Game Time Soaring Saunter play system. According to Oxford Township Parks and Director Phil Castonia, Soaring Saunter will triple the size of the current structure. It will help ensure everyone enjoys access to and equally shines through the play structure. Various accommodations such as 22 elevated play components, 13 are ramp accessible, 18 allow to transfer systems where users can reach play components without mobility devices. 33 individuals, nonprofits, schools, businesses, and officials wrote letters of support to gain the grant, and it is now set to bring joy next year at Seymour Lake Park. Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard is warning residents in the area to stay alert and be aware of alleged phone scams that were happening. Again, on the line possesses the person on the other line. The sheriff says it sounds official, although the case is still under investigation. Bouchard said the common thread in the scam is that someone in an alleged position of authority demands immediate monetary action to avoid arrest, or some feared action may take place. According to Bouchard, as he warns residents that this is a scam, saying they will never be asked to provide immediate money over the phone or any similar conveniences like cryptocurrency or green dot cards by the real government employees. In recent case, a man listed in the Michigan Sex Offenders Registry was contacted by someone who identified himself as Sergeant Kennedy, even though the sheriff's office does not employ someone under that name. If you're interested in further information and maybe have been contacted in what you believe is a scam, make sure to contact that Oakland County Sheriff's Office at 248-858-0146. 3 suspects received citations after allegedly stealing $600 worth of alcohol from the Meijer store at 900 North Lapeer Road. That was on Halloween night, according to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. The incident report, Meijer lost a prevention call 911 at around 8 o'clock that evening to report 2 women allegedly removing theft protection devices from multiple bottles of alcohol and stashing the bottles in their purses. A store loss prevention employee then confronted the women as they were attempting to leave Meijer, but they refused his request to re-enter the store and instead drove off in a silver sedan. One of the sheriff's office deputies stopped the vehicle. They detained the 3 suspects in their 20s, seized 34 total bottles of liquor. The suspects said the bottles were already in the vehicle. for a party, but upon watching surveillance video, deputies also confirmed that the alcohol had been stolen. The suspects have been cited for second-degree retail fraud. Deputies also said the car they were driving impounded. After learning more, none of the suspects had a valid driver's license. That's according to the initial police report. A recent case of canine rabies in Oakland County has been confirmed by the state health officials. On the 1st of the month, the stray dog from the Detroit area was transported to a veterinary hospital near Farmington Hills. It was confirmed to be the first known Oakland County case in recent history. The dog was brought home after 3 days until the dog began to display neurological system problems and was taken to a veterinary hospital. Veterinary staff euthanized the dog, sent the remains for the rabies testing. The dog did not bite anyone, and the only known individual exposed to the dog's saliva was the person who found that manager of the Oakland County Control, Bob Gatt, said the case is a reminder of how vital it is for dog owners to have their pets vaccinated to prevent spread of disease to other pets. With Thanksgiving fast approaching, Oxford Township Parks and Rec celebrated a holiday by hosting the annual Turkey Trot on the first Saturday of the month. 85 people participated in the event, choosing to run the 5K or even the 2K, donning winter hats, Lions jerseys, and even a turkey costume. Participants raced around the Seymour Lake Township Park. The first participant to the trot, his way to the finish, was Alexander Pollock, a 2010 Oxford High School graduate. His time, 17:27, placed him at the top of the respective age bracket. Pollock was one of 15 runners who finished first in their designated categories. Each winner took home an actual frozen turkey ready to be gobbled up on November 23rd. With the winter holiday just around the corner, the Downtown Development Authority is inviting community to come out and enjoy the chill. It's called the Chill Out. Experience special events. If you're looking to get a head start on the holiday shopping, the DDA is hosting a Shop Small Day on November 25th, starting at around 9 a.m. The first 100 shoppers will receive complimentary shopping bag, a downtown passport, and a chance at a $100 gift card. Then the 1st of December, the Christmas Oxford Soup and Stroll invites people to taste the downtown of Oxford. You can savor a sampling of 5 soups and several sweets with opportunities from local shopping, caroling, and even seeing the tree lighting. Then cap the festivities off on December 9th as they bring down a downtown holiday market and trolley rides to visit Santa. For information about the events and many ways the DDA is spreading holiday cheer around the area, check out their website page on Facebook. It's Oxford Downtown DDA's Facebook page. And in the segment called Behind the Lens, we always like that to find out who's out there snapping the pictures. In this week's Behind the Lens, we're sharing a spooky and yet snowy snapshot. Oxford graduate and Oxford resident Mary Dempsey captured this photo of the snow coming down on Halloween. The car in front of the old Detroit Bar and Grill in downtown Lake Orion was covered even before November had started that night. Happy holidays, the wrong holiday. Thank you, Mary, though, for the serene photo on Halloween night. In our last story today, snipping up salon styles. Stay there, we got more. Dave Kenny will have Auto Talk and Science in the News. You're watching Oxford News This Week.
Canine Stray Rescue is Oxford's own local dog rescue. Each year they take in hundreds of dogs and bring them into suitable homes. A certified nonprofit organization, Canine Dog Rescue strives to give pound dogs a new leash on life. To donate, adopt, or even volunteer, call them at 248-628-0435 or go to their website, dogsaver.org, and click on the Canine Stray Rescue League link.
Hey, this is former Detroit Lion Rob Rubick and former Lapeer, Michigan school teacher. You're currently watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television. Enjoy it.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. Keeping AM radio in new vehicles, including electric models, would cost automakers billions of dollars over the next 7 years, according to a new report from the Center for Automotive Research. In the October report, developed in partnership with the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, researchers found that reducing the electromagnetic interference generated by EVs, which can distort AM radio signals, is challenging and could lead to added costs for vehicle manufacturers. Through 2030, automakers could face a cumulative cost of up to $3.8 billion to address the interference that disrupts AM radio reception in EVs, according to the report. Automakers can reduce, but not eliminate, the interference with design and engineering options such as shielding cables, interference filters, active noise cancellation, and a strategic placement of components. But that comes at a cost, including added weight to the vehicle and shortened battery range. One automaker that spoke to the center's researchers estimated shielding costs of $35 to $50 and filtering cost of $15 to $20 per vehicle. These costs can be avoided by deleting analog AM radio from vehicles and providing consumers with alternative products for in-vehicle audio content such as digital AM and FM radio, streaming, and satellite services, researchers found. The report comes amid a bipartisan effort in Congress to prevent automakers from eliminating AM broadcast radio in new vehicles, including electric models. Lawmakers argue AM radio is still critical during large-scale emergencies. In July, the Democrats-led Senate Committee for Commerce advanced the bill known as the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act, which directs the U.S. Transportation Department to issue a rule requiring automakers to keep AM radio receivers in new vehicles as standard equipment. A modified version of the bill allows the department to establish an effective compliance date within 2 to 3 years of a rule being issued. Automakers that made 40,000 or fewer passenger vehicles in 2022 would have at least 4 years to comply, according to the text. The bill, opposed by major automakers and other industry and technology groups, has been steadily gaining support and is now co-sponsored by at least 37 Democratic and Republican senators. In the House, a bill by the same name, led by Representative Josh Gottheimer, a Democrat of New Jersey, has 180 co-sponsors on both sides of the aisle. At least 7 automakers, BMW, Mazda, Polestar, Rivian, Tesla, Volkswagen, and Volvo, do not offer broadcast AM radio in their EVs, citing electromagnetic interference from batteries, which can generate static, a high-frequency hum, and other noise and affect the reception of AM radio signals. Ford Motor Company previously said it would not include AM radio in any of its models starting in 2024, but reversed course in May after speaking with policy leaders about the importance of AM broadcast radio as part of the emergency alert system. In a blog post November 6th, the head of the Alliance for Automotive Innovation argued keeping AM radio in new vehicles is unnecessary and that efforts to reduce interference in EVs would come at a cost to customers. Requirements for airbags, brakes, side impact protection, seat belts, and other life-saving vehicle safety systems? Well, yes, said John Bozzella, CEO of the Alliance, which represents most automakers in the U.S. But forcing automakers to install analog AM radio tuners in all new vehicles, including electric ones, he continued, the government has never gone there before. Reminds you of Star Trek. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Back with you on a very, very brief edition of sports. With a fall sports season officially coming to an end, the Oxford Student Athletes 6 Wildcats turned a page for their new chapters at the college level. The first signing day ceremony of the school year took place on November 8th. Athletes representing soccer, cross country, swimming, basketball all signed their national letters of intent to commit to playing athletics at the collegiate level. Traveling everywhere from Central Michigan to the University of Iowa, to even Ashbury University in Kentucky. These Wildcats are ready to broaden their horizons and education as they take the next step, and thanks for the hard work and dedication. Stay tuned. We will be having winter sports, which does include basketball and amongst other things. That's going to wrap it up in this edition of sports. Dave Kenny will have another segment. I'll have our last story, and we'll say goodbye. You're watching a very a great edition of Oxford News this week.
Outdoors, then there's a good chance you could come across a young fawn. And normally, young fawns are found alone because their mothers place them there to be safe. A young fawn has very little scent, and the mother will only come in just a couple times a day in order to feed it and leaves quickly so that she doesn't leave behind her scent. So if you find a young fawn curled up in the grass, that's actually the safest place for it to be. Enjoy that moment, but don't touch it or move it. The mother will be back soon. Only licensed rehabilitators can legally possess wildlife, so please leave wildlife in the wild. For a list of licensed rehabilitators throughout the state, visit michigan.gov/wildlife.
Have you liked us on Facebook yet? If not, what are you waiting for? Just go to your Facebook page, go to the search bar, and type in Oxford Community Television.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Rats seem to emit ultrasonic squeaks of happiness just because they're in the company of another rat. Using newly developed miniature microphones that were placed on rats' noses, scientists have been able to determine which individual rat is making high-frequency sounds at any given moment. In an unexpected result, the recordings show that the rats weren't squeaking as a way of communicating with each other or in response to anything their fellow rats did, but simply out of the joy of being together, says Shai Netzer at the University of Haifa in Israel. We think that this isn't a language, but actually another way to pronounce happiness in general, he says. People can hear the alarm squeaks that rats sometimes make when they are distressed, but most rodents' calls have frequencies well beyond the human hearing range, which in adults usually maxes out around 17 kilohertz, that is. Scientists have previously discovered that rats make very high-pitched, choppy squeaks at about 50 kilohertz when they are happy, and make lower-pitched, longer calls at about 22 kilohertz when they're discontented. This is somewhat akin to dogs barking with happy excitement or growling when they're angry, says Netzer. Microphones set in cages have previously picked up high-pitched happy squeaks in groups of rats, but such setups don't accurately distinguish which rats are squeaking in different circumstances. To overcome this, Netzer and his colleagues invented a miniature microphone that they could attach to the noses of 13 rats via a surgically implanted tube. Then they placed the rats in cages with a second rat, either so that they were free to interact with each other or separated by a wire mesh, and recorded the noises they made. As expected, the rats made more of their high-pitched happy squeaks when they were in physical contact with another rat, says Netzer. To their surprise, however, the researchers found the rats didn't make these squeaks in reaction to anything the other animal did. Instead, the squeaks seemed to come at random, as though the rats were just expressing positive emotions about being in the company of another rat. The mini microphones also discovered a new rat sound, a very soft, low-pitched, choppy squeal that is within the human hearing range at around 6 kilohertz. But they don't produce it when they are near us, he said to Netzer. They only produce it near each other. The exact meaning of this newly discovered sound is yet to be investigated, he says, and the squeak investigation goes on. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Canine Stray Rescue does just that. Rescue stray dogs for new families. But they need your help. Become a volunteer at Canine Stray Rescue League of Michigan. Take dogs for walks, help them socialize with others, and help them get adopted. Fill out an application and help a family add a new member today.
Hello, this is Lomas Brown, ex-Detroit Lion, and you're watching OCTV. That's Oxford Community TV. Check it out.
And welcome back. In our last story today, a brand new local business snipping up salon styles. Michelle Scavone is the owner of Salon 24, a professional hair service located in the 202 South Washington Street. Scavone worked as a stylist in Oxford and attempted 16 years before deciding to follow her childhood dream, open up her own salon. Scavone said the salon is the most exciting thing she's ever done besides having children. She also said that while designing Salon 24, she focused on each and every one of her clients' needs, from hair products to store hours to even simply the beverages being served in the salon. She chose to stay in Oxford for her love of the community and incorporated Michigan throughout the new salon, referencing M24 in the Roman numerals of the salon's name, and even featuring clippings from the Oxford Leader. One of the walls of Salon 24 is open from 5 to 9 p.m. on Mondays, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays through Thursday, and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday through Saturday. We wish her luck in her endeavors with her brand new business. And before we say goodbye, I got to put the glasses on. We just got this in just a few minutes ago, and we want to remind you it's up and coming, and it's up and coming real fast. It's the Euchre Players. It's on Tuesday night. That's coming up on November 14th. Again, I say November 14th. If it's past that date, well, then they had a good time and you weren't there. Grab Cap Brewing at 14 North Washington. You can register to play euchre at 6:15. The game begins at 6:45. $10 to play. Half the player fees goes to scholarships to benefit the local scholarships. 15% of all food and drinks ordered on that day from Gavcat Brewing or even Sick Pizza will be donated back for scholarships. And again, this is happening on Tuesday, November 14th. You can register for euchre at 6:15. Anyways, we wanted to make sure you got that, as we want to make sure we pass everything along. As always, we thank the news gathering sources of this week's news from the Trotter Township of Oxford, the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, the Downtown Development Authority, Oxford Athletics, and of course the brand new Salon 24 Facebook pages and the websites of the Oxford Leader. Click on Detroit, the Detroit Free Press. Again, many of the photo credits going to the aforementioned periodicals that I just mentioned. OCTV can be viewed on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, Channel 99 on the AT&T U-verse system. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and even Roku. If you have a show idea and would like to maybe be a volunteer, call OCTV at our office at 248-628-9658. And we would like to thank our special producer and director, Kyle Snage. We also thank our news writer, Allison Miller, who's writing from afar, and also our editor, Marissa Haruska, programmer, Connie Miller, program coordinator, Dan Zweiss, station manager, of course, Terry Stiles. For everyone here at OCTV, I'm Tim Hughes, hoping you have a safe week. I invite you back next week, and when again, we will take a look at Oxford News this week.